Well, chat, there is certainly an argument to retreat back to CFB. At the same time, there is that sick part of my brain that says, let's see just how much more fucked up this game can be. And that part of my brain is winning. I would like to see just how much more ridiculousness is in store for us with this video game. I'm in it for the memes now at this point. They didn't even have to rely on their left tackle for a reception this week to win the Super Bowl. They didn't even need him. They didn't even need him. So heading into this offseason, you obviously saw who won the awards and the soupity-boopy and such. In terms of player retirements, we did see that Christian McCaffrey retired. Shout out to Prophecy for 2 months on the Prime. Prophecy, thank you for that. So, I would say it's cheering me up a little bit, but I'm still pretty devastated. We just lost. Oh, God, never mind. We're going to CFB. Jared Goff retired. I don't want to live in a world where Jared Goff isn't a quarterback at the NFL level. David Njoku's gone. Tre'Davious White retires as a champion. Landon Roberts is gone. Xavier Woods, Stephon Diggs. Fair enough. And, of course, Andy Reid. Okay. So, time to get roasted because we didn't win the Super Bowl. Time to get roasted. You said you were going to win the Super Bowl. Sure did. And then a left tackle showed up. Oh, cool. We're not even going to get roasted about it. Let's talk about the next few months. What's your plan? Fuck if I know, man. Fuck if I know. There is no specific plan. There just flat out isn't. We're taking it day by day, Chief. Day by day. Happy with our talents. Most of whom will be leaving. Current roster enough to be a playoff team. Yes. Of course, the current roster is good enough to be a playoff team. I don't know, a week from now, once free agency starts, if that's going to be the case. We'll see. We'll see, won't we? Oh, goodness. All right, again, we're not going to get rid of any of our staff members. Did Colby Sims get a point? He did not. These were all of our practice squad, like, auto signings. Auto upgrade all of them, see if they can get work somewhere else. And as long as our coordinators didn't leave, which I don't even know if they can, they did not. So, honestly, there might be somebody better than Darren Young, but maybe not Seth Henry. I'm just going to leave it, though. It's fine. It's fine. So we left the re-sign phase down to the last minute, and that could come back to haunt us. But we do have, as Josh Allen is leaving the Bills, we do have $212 million to spend. Now, we have the 5th-year option for Eli Wheeler, which is going to come out to $71.8 million. Nathan Rivers is leaving. This we know. Baker Mayfield is leaving. This we know. At running back, Dante Higgins' deal is up. Joe Mixon will be leaving. Reggie Gilliam will be leaving at fullback. Earl Drayton needs his 5th-year option at $38.8 million. We're going to let go of Lorenzo Mackey. He's fast as hell, but that's about it. We're also going to let go of Chris Godwin. Tight end Hunter Henry is on the way out. Isaac Sumalo also on the way out. We need to save money. Nick Bosa is gone. We said we were only bringing him in for the year, and that was the truth. Nick Bosa is leaving. Darius Smith is leaving. I don't know yet about George Karlaftis, but DJ Hargrove is definitely gone. Hassan Reddick is definitely gone. Antoine Shepard needs a huge deal. it. Devondra Sweat is leaving. DeForest Buckner is leaving. How's everything going? Oh, Hamura, great. Scott Huggins is probably leaving at linebacker because we're going to have to overspend to keep him. Stanley Wheatley is fine, but we can do better long term, so we're going to let Stanley go. Shout out to Paid Kenny for the follow. Arden Key is leaving. Jermaine Pratt is leaving. Fuck. Jarvis Brownlee Jr. is leaving. Oh, never mind. It glitched out. Apparently Oscar Crowder's leaving. There's 2 Oscar Crowders. What the fuck, EA? Are you okay? Okay, it fixed itself to be Jarvis. Jacorian Bennett is leaving. Dude, this is glitching out bad. Jalen Ramsey's also leaving. At free safety, Awuzi's gone. Jamal Adams is gone. Josh Carty is gone for now. Corey Bajorquez, we're going to let him go for now as well. So. Doesn't even sort the way I want it to. First things first, we have to accept the 5th-year option on the now superstar dev quarterback, Eli Wheeler. So that's done. Oh God, what are we gonna do? Good thing is that still keeps us at 212, right? I mean, we don't have to worry about the bonuses because we're not on owner mode. But I did want to back out so it could show franchise tags, but we're not. These guys. And Baker might be back, but we need to see our options elsewhere. Dante Higgins is an X Factor, but he's 26 years old, and we haven't really run the ball, so you don't like to change this to NHL franchise. When and where did I say that? Dante Higgins. He is a beast when he runs the ball. I mean, a $4 million a year cap hit's not that bad, but his overall is not going to go up any higher, really. Not by much. And that's my fault because we were training him up as a receiving back. It is a relatively cheap deal, though. I think we might keep him. Just because who else would be an X Factor on offense? Okonkwo and Drayton. Unless somebody else went X Factor. Let me check. If somebody else went X Factor, he's probably gone. Because we'd never be able to actually activate the X Factor. Wheeler doesn't have it yet. Jacoby Sims goes X Factor. I mean, yes, but also, fuck. The video just seemed negative. I mean, negative about anything other than... I thought the franchise stuff was the stuff I was the most positive about. Maybe a little bit more cautious about other stuff. But... So Jacoby Sims develops ankle breaker. He has reach for it, recoup, and short and elite. He was supposed to be our 3rd choice wideout behind Wembley, and instead now he's the 2nd behind Drayton. And then Okonkwo is still an X Factor. We're going to let go of the running back. We're just not going to be able to utilize the fact that he has an X Factor over the 2 wideouts and the tight end, especially with how much we pass the ball. Yeah, I thought what I was trying to convey with the whole NHL reveal trailer talks was some of the other stuff and the franchise stuff. Tempered expectations, but there are some things that are going to be added that are worth being relatively excited about. Now, this is the time when I upload this on YouTube in March, and people were like, what the hell, that the game sucks. So that'll be fun. That'll be fun. Okay, so first tough decision number 1, Dante Higgins. There's just no reason to bring him back because we're not going to be able to have him be an active X Factor in the lineup. I mean, he's not a bad player in terms of his attributes. He's really not a bad player in terms of his attributes, but is it worth it I don't know. Maybe it is worth bringing him back. Maybe it is. Completely having to discount the X factors because those aren't going to be a factor unless somebody gets hurt. He is still a good power back, and it's not that expensive of a deal. Let's see if he'll come back. 3-year deal. Around $5 million per. Alright, Dante's back. I'm okay with that. Yeah, I'm okay with that. Earl Drayton. Got to accept that 5th-year option, for sure. And Mackey and Godwin are gone. Henry's gone. Paula was gone. So actually, again, the cap room we have right now is going to be okay. But we can't afford to spend too much because of the damage that's on the way. Those guys that are on 5th-year options, we're about to have to pay out the ass to keep them. Antoine Shepard wants roughly $35 million a year on average if you average out those 5 years. Holy shit. Whew. And he is a beast that holds down that defensive line. That is a hell of a lot of money, though. Case in point about how fast the money's going to go. We're losing Nick Bosa. I don't know yet about Karlaftis. Huggins is probably out. You got Koromoa with an ability. McCreary with an ability. Crowder still has his. To be honest, though, we'd probably do McCreary. Koromoa. McLeod has shut down. Do we pay a defensive tackle that much money? It's our first time we're having to actually be a little bit more considerate about contracts. Shepard. I mean, I presume that Bosa, Karlaftis probably took away some of the damage. But 3 sacks, 20 for loss. Has a forced fumble. I mean, it does look like if we make him the star man on the D-line, he'll thrive that much more. I think we got to offer him the deal at least. Very player-friendly. Antoine Shepard is coming back. Down to $175 million in cap room. Osa's gone. CJ Turner. Makes all the sense to keep CJ. It shouldn't be that bad of a deal. Give him a slightly player-friendly deal. CJ is back. Oscar Crowder. Not a bad player, but we're not going to be able to utilize that X factor. Too many people are above him on the depth chart in that regard, so I honestly think Crowder's going to go. We don't want to overspend too much for an 82 overall corner. Granted, he's not looking for that much. $6.5 million or so per for an 82 overall corner. Not bad. Not bad. Oh, Crowder, I do think we want to keep you. Actually, hold on. I want to look at that player card. He is really well-rounded, and he would be a good slot option, yeah. 95 man coverage. Agility leaves a bit to be desired. His catching leaves a lot to be desired. But he does have good awareness. I think we're going to keep Oscar, too. I think so. If he wants to stay. And he does. Down to 156. Scott Huggins is gone. I mean, we're just not going to be able to overspend to keep him. Yeah, we can't afford to pay a guy who's going to cap out at like an 84, 85. That much money, most likely. That should be a wideout, right? Karlaftis is willing to stay. A lot of money. I just know how expensive some of these future deals are going to be. And the answer is very. Trying to make sure we don't put ourselves into a bad cap situation in the future. Because we easily could. More look through here. I'm pretty sure, yeah, it's all defense now to begin with. Bosa's definitely gone. I mean, the franchise tag would be $33 million for the year. I mean, technically we could look to do that, but again, we know he's absolutely going to take away tackles and sacks from our defensive tackle. Explain the franchise tag to a Canadian. Fuck you, you're staying. That's the franchise tag. Fuck you, you're staying. Loftus. We know Tavondra Sweat's going. We know Buckner's going. Huggins is probably going. It's just way too much to overspend for him. He's a good linebacker, but he's not so good that we absolutely have to keep him. Okay, so the last decisions to make then, if we know Huggins is on the way out, is just do we keep George Karlaftis? And that's a bit of a tough call. He is obviously a really good player. 13 tackles for loss, 4.5 sacks. Like, it feels like our D-line was almost too damn good. Like, they were kind of eating into one another's stats. We've seen what Karlaftis is capable of elsewhere. I don't know. Oh, I wish I could see pending free agents. Like a good franchise tag Bosa, but he's not a long-term solution at all. Same with Huggins, but that would be a massive overpayment for the year. It's just really those top three. What the hell do we do? Fuck. We have to be careful with that cap room. Can't overpay Huggins. It was Bosa last year. He was good. He was good. Did get injured, though. I can see them. I actually can do a little bit of research for pending free agents. I gotta search a little bit, but either that or we start looking back towards the draft again. Quarterback position, we're gonna be fine. Running back position, we kept Higgins around, which is fine. I mean, he and Mitchell are a pretty good 1-2 punch actually in the game. Wideouts were set, but boy, we're going to run into trouble sooner rather than later. It's mainly the defense. We need a left end. We need a right end. We'd have to completely rebuild our defensive line. It would just be Antoine Shepard that's staying. We're going to need a linebacker on the left side. Tyson will still be good on the right. Got our top three corners still, excluding Ramsey. Re-signed Turner and Crowder. In case McCreary leaves, which he might when that deal's up. Still got a little bit of time left. Not too interested in signing trades, to be honest. I mean, Bosa is looking good right now, but there is a chance he starts to fall off. There is a chance Karlaftis starts to fall off a little bit. I'm just worried about the cap implications if we keep Karlaftis long term. The only way we keep Bosa is as a franchise tag. That would keep one hell of a defensive line together. But we also really want Antoine at defensive tackle to kind of be the star of that line. Karlaftis wants a 3-year deal, which I'm not interested in. I'd be interested in the 1-year deal. Even 2, I think, is a little bit risky. I'm going to go with my gut here. I don't think there's any denying that we could keep Karlaftis and Bosa. I want to see what's out on the open market. We're going to let both of them go to free agency. We might have to start putting a little bit more focus back on the draft now. Still showing up as a 90 overall team. Mike, what's up? We are still in the same season. We lost in the AFC title game to Cincy, who went on to win the Super Bowl, because this game hates me. Especially the way that we lost. So, looking at the team, because we got some cleanup to do. Right? Quarterback situation. Dixon's a nobody. So we're going to need a project slash backup and then a mentor at that position. But Wheeler is good to go. Running backs. Pretty straightforward. Keaton Mitchell. You got Higgins. I don't think we need a mentor there anymore. We're just going to need a backup. We need a fullback. Get ourselves a fullback. Wideouts. Zach Walker's just a rando. Practice squad, so get rid of him. That leaves Drayton, Sims, Wimbley, Bonds as the return specialist. And then a mentor. Maybe a project as a 6th. But nothing too crazy at the wideout position. We're still very, very stacked for now. Tight end, Sheldon Medlin's a rando from the practice squad. I still hate how it auto-signs all your guys from the practice squad, because then you just have to cut the fuckers. It's a pain in the ass. Tight end, we have a Okonkwo. We got Brewer, which means we need a mentor to try and get Brewer's XP up a little bit higher. Left tackle, couple of tack-ons from the practice squad. Get rid of them. Vernon Nix. Which means at left tackle, we have Peterson, and we need a mentor. Shocker. Left guard, we have Johnny Chandler, meaning we need a mentor behind him. Too crazy, get that extra XP. Center, Darrell Cheeks. Not going to believe this. Well, at 26, he might still benefit from a mentor. Maybe. Guess you can make the same argument at running back. We'll give him a chance. Yeah, maybe we will scout left tackles. You never know. Best tight ends in the game, left tackles. Right guard, Mikey Gallagher. I can just see this team crumbling. I hate to say it. I think we're going to be in a lot of trouble moving forward, given that we lost that. Right tackle, we have Shields. And we will need a mentor. So the O-line, pretty well sorted out. Left end, we need a starter. We need a backup / mentor, depending on the circumstances. On the right side, we need a starter. And a backup / mentor, depending on how young the player is that we get. Defensive tackle, we kept Antoine Shepard, of course. Keenan Wilson can go. Meaning we will need a backup / project and a mentor in that role to bump up Shepard's overall. We need a left side linebacker. Noticing a theme. Middle linebacker, we still have Koromoa. Don't think Carl Tramer's worth keeping around. Not really. Get rid of him. And then AJ Means. We can get rid of him as well. So we're just going to need a backup behind Koromoa. Right side is Zach Tyson. And I don't think Chad Falk. Yeah, he's not going to be worth keeping. We'll need a mentor behind Tyson. Corners. Roger McCreary. We got CJ Turner. Oscar Crowder. Practice squad tack-ons to get rid of. Listen to sports talk. I try to avoid it, to be honest. Like, I do have the possibility of listening to, like, stations out of Boston and stuff like that. I try to avoid it like the goddamn plague. I gotta be honest. All right. Let's see. Here. Safeties. I mean, it's the job of sports radio to be overly reactionary to everything. It's just not my vibe. It's not my vibe. Strong safety Timmons. We'll need a mentor for you. Just organizing stuff here. We are going to need a kicker. We are going to need a punter. Right. So, we have a game plan. Kind of. Let's take a look at free agency this season. Top quarterback out there, a former first overall pick, Cameron Covington, who has a lot of interest in coming here. We have no interest in signing him. Dak has left Dallas. We could slam our Penix in the car door. Spencer Rattler's out there. Markel Kidd. Again, we need a backup / project. There's not necessarily anybody I'm willing to spend that money on right now. Granted, we do have a lot of cap space. The only project to bring in would be like Nathan Rivers in case an injury happens. I mean, technically with Cam Covington, yeah, he wants a 5-year deal. It's just no way. Can we slam our Penix in the car door? He also wants a bigger deal than I was hoping. And then Markel Kidd just kind of exists. We'll hold off on backup / project / mentors there. Running backs, Quincy Glenn, Tyler Allgeier, Oscar Henley. Younger players to build around. Not that we even need anybody. We only need a mentor in that role. And this year, we're not going to overspend on them. Just because I'm a little bit afraid to. At least we're not going to immediately do that. I need to see who else is here. Fullback. We could bring Gerald Bass back into the equation. Or we could try to train up Brandon Johnston. Or we could just draft a fullback. Which is probably what I'm going to do to save money. Wideouts, we definitely don't need anybody. A couple of 80s in the equation. Nobody to immediately build up. George Kittle's a free agent. Trey McBride, who we do not need. Left tackle Rashawn Slater. I bet he could catch a football. Mailata, Paris Johnson Jr. So a lot of O-linemen becoming available this year. Nobody that we need to spend a crazy amount of money on, though. Quentin Nelson. Wow, J.C. Latham. Jenkins. I mean, this is a big year for offensive linemen. Big year for linemen. And again, we don't need anybody. So. Defensive end. Nick Bosa's out there. Matabuke, Montez Sweat, Derek Virgil. We're going to be looking at the draft for the left side edge rusher here. Yeah, we're going to be looking at the draft. Right side or not, defensive tackle first, where we, could technically go after a project if we decided to splash the cash. At least a decent backup. Who's on that right side? Karloftis is still the best option. And he does still have interest in signing here. That's kind of the question: is do we want to bring back Karlaftis? Left side linebacker, big time position of need. Since we lost Scott Huggins, we could bring back Stanley Wheatley to fill the role. I mean, that's going to kind of depend on the contracts that these guys want. Middle linebacker, Larry Jensen. We could definitely take a look at him to see, you know, like what his style is. If he could play on the outside. Right side, Dallas Turner, DeMar Cohen. Okay. In a corner, J.J. Rucker. No interest in coming here, though. None at all. Usually ask for more money. Well, we didn't look at what Karlaftis was looking for. $22 million a year. I feel like that was about the same. Close to it for what he was asking for before. So, I think we definitely have the money to spend to find short-term stopgaps. Could also bring in Jake Elliott as a kicker here. Try and make the special teams that much better. Or AJ Cole. And we definitely have the cash to spend. Try and improve this team. And Bosa's not going to happen. Too many teams are interested. It would cost too much money. We don't need Nelson. Dallas Turner, we'd have to commit a decent amount of money to, and I am afraid to do that right now. Karlaftis has other teams interested, so we'd have to pay him his fair value, and that's also scary. Because again, we have a lot of big contracts coming due in the very near future. So for some of these top players, we're just not going to be able to be in the conversation. And we might be able to lowball for a couple of these guys in that secondary tier, but that's about it. We won't be able to lowball Karlaftis. Oh, let's see. Montez Sweat wouldn't be that bad either. But Justin Matabuke. Probably not the best defensive end in the world, but also he doesn't need to be. Or we look to strike in the draft. Save the money, strike in the draft. But we got $163 million. I definitely think it's worth pushing to win a title basically every single year. So because of that, no one else has an offer in on Mr. Matabuke, so we're going to send a very team-friendly deal. Try and steal him and take advantage of the fact that nobody else has an offer in. And on the right side, we can't do the same with Karlaftis. We could do it for REDUX. Could also look for Derek Virgil, but teams are interested. And at the very least, if we find somebody better, Hassan Reddick can be a mentor. God, he wants $11 million. You're out of your fucking minds. Jesus. He's out of his goddamn skull. All right, we talked about linebackers. We'd have to compete for some of these other guys. I mean, maybe Kenny Murray's coming back after all this time. Yeah, AJ, I saw on Discord. I'm prepared. Shit, dude. All right, you know what? Jake Elliott, if we can get you for dirt cheap for a year to improve our special teams, let's do it. Same with AJ Cole. Lowball you two. Get you guys signed. That'll be fine. Honestly, fullback, same thing with Reggie Gilliam, or we could just bring back Gerald Bass. I don't know who else we want to get. Really fuck with them, can only draft in the Vancouver Giants, right? BC to glory at the very least. Could happen. What? Screw it. God, Gerald, you want way too much money for a fullback. You're out of your mind. Quarterback, though. let's lowball Phoenix. To be the backup for this upcoming season. Just in case an injury happens. And then from there, we got the offering on Matabuke. It's on REDUX, wants way too much fucking money. Nobody has a single offer in on TJ Watt right now. I think we try to take advantage of that. And we lowball TJ Watt, see if he'll sign for the year, and if we draft somebody better, at least he has the mentor tag, and that already fills that position. Again, I'm not going to use my evaluations. I don't like using them. We're just going to go to the next day and see what happens. So, trying to be cautious because we know we have gigantic contracts to hand out soon, but also we want to be a little bit aggressive in filling some of the holes in our roster. We do land Jake Elliott and AJ Cole. So that is our special teams sorted. And we still have the only offers in for Penix, Matabuke, and Watt. Okay. So quarterback, we got to wait to see what happens with Penix. Running back, we could bring in the first mentor we see, which would be Saquon. I don't think we need to spend that much money, though, on a position where it would be third string. I'd say the O-lines, probably for the best. Middle linebacker, getting a good middle linebacker as a backup. Kenny Murray, honestly, if we can lowball him. Bring Murray back. We need a mentor right outside linebacker. Could be Dre Greenlaw. Lowball him a little bit. Need a mentor at corner again this year. Jalen Ramsey has offers. Marlon Humphrey does not. Try to utilize him. Free safety. Marcus Williams. Good work in a mentor role. Lowball him again. Or not again. And then strong safety. We could go for Buda Baker. A lowball 1-year offer. Just fill out the roster like we said. We need a backup defensive tackle. I don't think Jacobs had the mentor tag. Devondra Sweat has no interest from anybody. I really wouldn't mind bringing him back again. I mean, he's been a good player for us. Dario Cheeks is out there too. So was Christian Wilkins, but we've had Sweat on the team for a couple of years. You could argue that Denario Cheeks would be better long term. Christian Wilkins, though, would also fit the mentor role. Where are you looking at the mentor role? Right underneath the player picture, it says tags. And again, mentors help players in that position get extra training XP. So I always try to have a good balance of mentors on a team. Let's see on the O-line. Braden Smith. There's no interest from anybody. That's a lot of money, though. Let's see what happens. See what happens for the second week. $5 million in cap. We got TJ Watt at linebacker for the year, which is nice. We got the Justin Matabuke. Very nice. We do get Marlon Humphrey as a corner to work with. Christian Wilkins at defensive tackle. Marcus Williams as a backup free safety. Murray as the backup middle linebacker. So we still have an offer on Buda Baker. We don't know yet. We're going to get out-dueled for Drake Greenlaw, and we still have the deal in for Penix. How do I ignore Chad arguing so easily? Because I'm used to it. Because I'm used to it. Can I revoke my offer for Drake Greenlaw? I can. And then honestly, Buda Baker, let's just revoke that as well. So Penix. Penix is good. Look for him in the backup role. We will still need a mentor in that role, which, funny enough, can't be Dak. But it can be Kyler Murray. Oh, Daniel Jones is a mentor. Never mind. Never mind. Let's see if we can bring in Daniel Jones as the mentor. And see if we can round out the room like that. Hold on, let me get involved here. There we go. There you go. I got involved. Chat, you're welcome. All right. Running back. We need a mentor. We need a mentor at running back. Saquon. Low ball, Saquon. Dimma, I do, especially when you're being aggressive in chat. That's right, I said it. Be nice. Fullbacks. Might as well just low ball freaking Gilliam again and try to bring him back. See if he takes it. Shitload of money, but we have it. That's probably too much money for a fullback. Just draft one. We'll just draft one. Wideouts. Talked about a project. We do need a mentor in that role. Terry McLaurin. Terrence. Let's hope that is the play. Let's see. So we'll look to bring in McLaurin. That's feisty tonight, eh? I like it. I like it. Ding. Let's see. 1 second to update my little guide here to see what we're doing. Tight end. We need a mentor, which is going to be Dawson Knox. Potentially bringing back Dawson Knox after a year away. We need a mentor at left tackle. Jordan Mailata. Holy shit. All right, team's interested. Never mind. Colton Miller? Would be a lot of money, but it could happen. Well done, Frank. Well done. Left guard. We need a mentor. Ben Powers. Ben Powers. Need a mentor at center. Doesn't have any offers on him. Austin Corbett. We need the Corbett. Low ball his ass. Right guard. We need a mentor. Will Hernandez. Hernandez, and then right tackle. We need a mentor that doesn't have an offer. Taylor Moton. This way we got some good offensive line depth. Left end, we need a backup. Matabuke is going to be the starter. Shit. Maybe we should just draft somebody, because that's not looking too good, is it? Yeah, we'll look for draft UDFA for that. Defensive tackle. We ended up with Wilkins as a mentor. Talked about a backup or a project. Kenny Clark. Could be a decent little backup. Let's try to have it be Clark. We'll go with the veterans at defensive tackle. as the backups. That fucking right side now. We need a starter. That's not looking too good. Who's the best mentor of the bunch? Trey Hendrickson. We are gonna have to find a starter in the draft and/or UDFA. See if we can lowball Trey Hendrickson to be the mentor there. Linebacker. We need a backup. Best we can get. Yaya Diaby. Or Joey Bosa. You know, I don't really want to deal with the Bosa curse anymore. Based off of rating, let's go with Jalix Hunt. What a name. What a name, and we'll see if Hunt will be good enough there. Right side, we need a mentor. We need a mentor. Doesn't have an offer from anybody. Devin White. Devin White. Let's hope that you're the guy for that role. Corner, we needed a backup or a project. Matt Miller. Jamel Dean. So kind of take away our need to draft anybody, but also there's no guarantees these guys all accept. Okay, there we go. We got a lot of offers out. Let's see what happens, and that'll set us up for the draft, in which we're actually going to have to make picks this year. Let's see. My signings at quarterback. We do get Mr. Penix and Danny Dimes, the Danny Derps, as our quarterbacks behind Wheeler. We get Saquon Barkley as the mentor at running back. We'll need to draft a fullback. Wide out, we bring in Terry McLaurin. We're going to need a project. Tight end, we bring in Dawson Knox. Not bad. Colton Miller at left tackle. Looks like we ended up... Yeah, Ben Powers as well. Looks like we ended up with all these guys, which is really nice. We didn't end up with Corbett, so we do still need a mentor at center. Right guard, we do land Will Hernandez. Right tackle, we land Taylor Moton. Matabuke, so we're still going to need a backup from the drafts. Defensive tackle, Wilkinson, Kenny Clark. Okay. Right side, Hendrickson. We're going to need a starter at right end. Linebackers, Watt and Hunt. The linebacker, Kenneth Murray Jr. is back. Get Devin White to play behind Tyson. We are good at corner. Safety, we landed Williams. We need a mentor at strong safety. And then Elliott Cole. Okay. 30 million. Left in cap space. I think it worked out pretty well to keep our overall relatively high. In terms of the signings, Nick Bosa goes to Nolans for 2 years. Hell of a lot of money. J.J. Rucker's off to the Colts. That's not good news for us. Quentin Nelson to the Falcons. Dallas Turner to the Falcons. George Karlaftis goes to San Fran. Good for him. J.C. Latham to Detroit. Sean Slater to Carolina. Jalen Ramsey to the Patriots. George Kittle is a Bronco. Trey McBride to the Niners. Jordan Mailata to the Patriots as well. Shavarius Ward to Washington. And then it starts to drop off from there. Andrew Sweat also went to Washington. Another former player of ours, Scott Huggins, goes to Nolans. Fair enough. I do think we did a pretty good job of keeping the team together. Mostly. We desperately need a defensive end in this draft. That is our biggest need in this incredibly quarterback-heavy draft class. Top defensive ends. We do know that Daniel Foote is a top 5 talent. It was great. Is there anybody else here? There was one guy towards the top. This guy here, Brandon Whitfield, that we can look at. In the middle, not looking too good. Defensive tackle, nobody with the crazy ranges we have to look at. What else or who else did we need? That starter on the right. And the other defensive end. We do kind of need a future left side linebacker. Good look at that guy in Herschel Garvin. Innovator of the Garvin Stomp. You can also look at Dion Fisher. Why not? Oh, boy. I really didn't think we'd get to this offseason. I really thought we were going to win the Super Bowl. And then we didn't. And now, we're in a little bit of trouble. A little bit.